right, so welcome everybody to our stretching workshop. Right now we're doing about 2 workshops a month on stretching and strengthening exercises. The first one we do is the stretching one. The second one we move on to the strengthening. So tonight we're going to talk about stretches for both the neck and the lower back. And then in 2 weeks we're going to talk about strengthening for the neck and lower back. Obviously, this is one of the more important workshops, so as we're going forward and we came up with the schedule for the next 6 months, what we've done is added in a lot more stretching and strengthening workshops so that we're really hitting it a lot. Does everybody know why it's important that we do stretching and strengthening?
To keep flexible?
Yeah, to keep flexible. Why do we need to keep flexible? What's so important about that?
Otherwise you'd be walking like a robot.
Looking like a robot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, when you get adjusted, the adjustments are aimed at putting motion into your spine. We find those subluxated areas and we put motion in. In order for you to maintain that motion, what holds the vertebra in place? Muscles. So if we're constantly tight and we do nothing to stretch out those muscles, then what happens? Pulls you right back out of alignment. So the stretching is so important, not only to help your body heal, but to help you maintain the adjustments. We just had a conversation this morning about physical therapy. And we know physical therapy is a great thing because physical therapy is designed to help you stretch and strengthen. However, if you're stretching and strengthening a spine that's in a weakened position, you're building in the problem. So physical therapy is really meant to come into play once we've straightened the spine and we want to maintain that position. And one of the best benefits of physical therapy is what people really miss out on. And what's that? What did we talk about this morning? Come on, it was just this morning. What happens when you leave physical therapy?
Oh, you stop the exercise.
You stop the exercises. Please understand that the exercises that you learn, whether they're here or in physical therapy or at the gym, you have to always do them. You never get a break from taking care of your health. It's a full-time job that's meant to last you the rest of your life. When are you done brushing your teeth? You're not. Never. When are you done caring for your spine? Throughout our lives, we will constantly build up subluxations. And by the time I've seen a lot of you, there's been so many subluxations built up that they will never go all the way back to normal. So what's the goal? What do we want to do?
You want to stretch to get healthy?
We want to stretch to get healthy, but more importantly, we want to stop or slow down degenerative changes. See, as our bodies age, they degenerate. The more we do to stop that process, the longer our bodies are going to last us, the healthier they'll be for a longer period of time. So when are we done getting adjusted? When are we done stretching? When are we done brushing our teeth? When are we done watching out for our health? When are we done exercising? We're not. We're never done. So these stretches are so important to become part of your daily routine. And when you learn them, it doesn't take long. And people say, oh, I'm too busy, I can't get to it, I'm too busy. Well, I'll tell you what. It's a pay me now or pay me later kind of thing. If you're too busy to take care of your health, you're going to lose it, and then you're not going to be able to do all the things that are keeping you busy. So you might as well, you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Do it now. Don't wait for everything to break down and then have that crisis. We live in a very crisis-driven society. We wait until things break down to take care of them. It's so much harder to do than taking care of it before it breaks down.
I guess it's not like a car. Fix it when it needs to. Our bodies, we should just keep them.
Well, you know what?
So we
Honestly,
have to fix it.
We take care of our cars before they break down. We do our oil changes. We rotate our tires. Some people take better care of their cars than they do themselves. And that slays me because guess what? You can get a new car. You know, you can get new teeth. You can't get a new spine. Once your health is gone, it's gone. It's our greatest gift. It's the best commodity that we have, okay? So, when we go through these, I'm going to show you them. I don't want you doing every single one of them and trying to implement everything at once. Pick 1 or 2. That's it. If you pick 1 or 2 and you can start implementing them, you will do so much better, and I'll tell you the ones that I really recommend for you to implement. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is active neck rotation. You're lying down on your back, you put a little towel under your neck to support the curve. Remember the curve goes this way all day? We do this when we're texting and we're working and we're eating and everything's in front of us. So we want to, whenever we're exercising or whenever we're conscious of it, we always want to bring our heads back into this position to help support that curve. Why is that curve so important? It supports the weight of what? Our head. Our head's like a bowling ball. It's heavy. It's heavy.
It is.
So if we don't have that curve, and think about it, this is a curve, right? A curve helps support weight. Any structure in engineering that has a curve built into it can support that weight so much better. If it's straight, there's no give. If there's a curve, there's give. That's why we want that curve built in. Our bones are shaped to accept that curve. So when we lose that curve, they wear down. When we maintain that curve, the discs last longer because we've taken the pressure off of them. And we don't have as much pressure on the nerves. So that's why we want to maintain that curve. So the first thing we do is put our neck slightly into extension for this exercise. And we basically just turn it. Muscles are meant to contract. That's what they do all day long. And especially in this position, a stretch will expand a muscle. It brings it in the opposite direction. Okay? So it's very gentle. You can, it says the directions right here. Hold for 10 seconds and repeat 3 times on each side. So look to your left, hold it for 10 seconds, and then go to the other side. Okay? Who can't tell me they can't find a time in their day to do that? Even if you're not doing it on the floor. Could you possibly do it sitting up at your desk while you're working? Could you possibly do it while you're watching TV? No, because you might miss something. But, you know, we've got commercials, not as many these days because you have Netflix and all that. But, you know, you can take a break and do that. Or just turn your body while you're watching TV and do that so you don't miss anything. But, you know, again, at work, I had a woman that came in tonight. She's so stressed. She's like the sweetest thing in the universe, but she stresses over everything. She's like, what can I do to calm down? Add motion. When you add motion, it has a calming effect on the body. There are actually chemicals released by the brain that will do that for you, okay? So again, active neck rotation. You can either do it lying down with a pillow and with a towel under your neck, or you can do it sitting in a chair, okay? And speaking of that, when we're sleeping, we want to have that curve also supported. So if you don't have one of those cervical pillows with the curve in it, if you don't have a water pillow where the water displaces to where you need it, start by just rolling up a towel, a thin towel, and putting it underneath the lip of your pillow so that supports you at night. Okay? If you're lying on your side, same thing. There's a curve here. You don't want to be like this, and you don't want to be like this from too many pillows. If you're sleeping on your side, you want to put that pillow in here. And then you put another pillow in between your arms so that your shoulders don't rotate over. So you want your spine to stay in neutral. That's the goal. Make sense? Okay. Also, if you're on your side, you can put a pillow between your knees so your hips don't drag over. Okay? It's especially important for you. We talked about that, right? Good. Okay. The next one is the face clock. Now, have you ever seen people that sit there and roll their heads around like that?
I do.
I don't like it.
There's
There's so much.
sounds.
Yeah, there's so much. It's like you're catching muscles, and I think that you're a little prone to injury with that one. What I prefer that you do, again, with the support under your neck, is just do a face clock. What you're really taking out is that extension. I like all of the ranges of motion, and if you want to get all the ranges of motion, face clock is a great way to do it. But another thing you could do is go to the side, go back to the middle, bend your ear to the shoulder, go back to the middle, head down, back to the middle. Those are all great ways to get that motion in without actually, that makes me insane. No more, right? Always go back to the middle first. Or do the face clock where your neck is supported so you can't go into too much extension. Okay, extension means going back, flexion means going forward. So imagine your head against the face of a clock. Slowly draw the outer edge of the clock with your nose. Go clockwise first, then counterclockwise. Repeat 3 times in each direction. Do 1 to 2 sets a day. Again, this is something you can do at work. You can do it in the car while you're driving. In the car while you're driving, how many times do we hit traffic in this area? All right, isn't like that a great thing to do while you're sitting in traffic? Just get your ranges of motion in instead of freaking out. You're stuck there. I got news for you. Whether you freak out or not, you're not going to go any faster. And you can actually just be grateful for the time because you can utilize it and do something like a stretch. Another thing that I love about driving is that I like to position my rear view mirror just slightly higher than I actually need it, which reminds me to sit up. Okay, so that's a really good trick for you to learn. Just put it up a little bit. And in addition to that, when we get to those red lights or when we're sitting in traffic, push your head straight back into the headrest because that'll strengthen these muscles that keep your head back and avoid that forward head carriage. Okay? Forward head carriage strains all of this down all the way. You know, people tell me all the time, oh, my fingers, my thumbs, and they're walking around like this. All these nerves are pulled and strained. You don't want that. If the shoulders come back and the head is back, that's when we protect against that. And that's why these lumbar supports that I'm using here are really good. If I don't have this, this is how you sit. See how forward the head comes? Right? If you have this, it brings your shoulders back, it brings your head back into alignment. Okay, so another good trick. The next one is tension release. This one is one of those that I'm going to say, definitely you have to do every day. You know that stress that builds up in the shoulders here when we get, it's such a common stress point when we get stressed out, that it's all in this area of our bodies, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to drop your chin to your chest, and you can all do it with me because I want you all to try it and really feel this. When you do this, the one thing that I have to caution you against is pulling on your head. I don't want to see anybody pulling on your head. I don't even want your hand touching your head. It's the weight of your arm that does the stretch. That's all you need. There's a lot of delicate vessels running through here, so we don't want to tug on that. So if you drop your chin to your chest, you're looking down at your feet, and you let the weight of the arm allow your head to just go to the side a little bit, you're going to feel a nice, gentle stretch. Over the years, I've taught this to people who have come in the next day and say, I'm in so much pain. I'm like, what'd you do? That stretch you taught me. I said, you didn't do it the way I taught you. Because if you pull and you really try to get that to hurt, it's going to hurt. It's too delicate of an area. So again, the more you tuck your chin in, the further back the stretch is going to go. But just the weight of your arm. Please don't tug. And this is one that I really think everybody should do every day because everybody gets tension and stress in their shoulders, and this is one of the best releases for that. Doesn't it feel good?
You feel it.
You do. And it doesn't take much pressure to feel it, right?
No.
And again, when can't you do this? Okay? So this one, I would say, if you're going to just say, I want to try one of these, this is the one. If you want to try 2 of them, I want you to definitely add in the shoulder squeeze, which is the next one we're going to go over. The shoulder squeeze, it says don't arch your back. So that's one of the first things I want you to know. None of this stuff. Always keep your body in neutral. When you do this, you're pressing, I'm going to turn so you can see, your shoulder blades together. You're squeezing them together. This is really, really big in yoga. If anybody's ever taken yoga, they say squeeze the shoulder blades on the back. That really strengthens the muscles that hold the shoulder blades on the back, and it stretches this area at the same time. So this can be broken down into a few different things. One, we can just do it in the air where we're squeezing our shoulder blades on the back. We're opening this up. It's important to open this up. Why? Because this is part of this posture that we do all day. And again, what we're trying to reverse is as we age, this is the posture we get. We shouldn't get this if we care for our spine. This is not a normal posture. It's a common posture, but it's not normal. So if we every day are doing something to open us back up this way, we're not going to have this problem. All right? So if you do it like this, that's one way. Another great way is to do it in the doorway, where your arms are at 90 degrees and you just gently lean forward. And again, gently, okay? So you're using the doorway 90 degrees. You know, some people are down here, some people just like this, and gently you're going to lean forward and allow the door to help open this up. Sound good? Again, these are so simple, and I promise you, you add at least 2 of these in, and your body's going to last you a lot longer. How long do you need to do these for?
Every day,
Every day? For how long?
forever.
Forever, thank you. All right, so let's go on to the lower back. The first one we have is the hamstring stretch. Now, please let me explain the importance of the hamstring stretch. These are one of the strongest muscles in the body. These are your hamstrings. The hamstrings pull down on your pelvis. If you have tight hamstrings, you're going to have a tight lower back. If you have an episode of lower back pain, one of the best first things you can do for yourself, aside from getting adjusted, if it's a Sunday and you don't want to bother me, and I'd appreciate it if you didn't, is stretch your hamstrings. There are so many ways to stretch the hamstrings. It's an easy muscle to stretch, but so many people have so much problem with it. Have so many problems with it. The simplest, easiest way to do it is find something this height or even the height of this table. I'll give you the height of the table so I can show you. Hold on to something, put your leg up, a slight bend in the knee, and bend forward, keeping your back straight, none of this. And this is the first thing I see with people with tight hamstrings. They tend to go like this rather than like this. You don't need to go far. It's just a simple, gentle stretch. Stretching pain is normal. Pain, you want to stop. If you get a stabbing pain in your lower back when you do this, stop. But if you're just feeling the stretch here, you're doing it right. So slight bend in the knee and bend forward. Again, this is something you can do anywhere, anytime during the day. Slight bend in the knee and go forward. That's one simple, easy way to do it. A lot of times you can do it when you're brushing your teeth and put your leg right up on the counter. You know, you feel it in here. It's an awesome, easy stretch. This is also one that you can do on your bed. You can put one leg up, keep one leg down, and again, bend forward. This is what the posture that people go into when they start this. They drop their whole tummy back and they're rounding their back. That's not what you want to do. You want to be sitting up straight. You don't have to go far. As you get better at it, you'll be able to reach your toe. You'll be able to go all the way down. But again, just a nice, simple, gentle stretch is enough. A lot of people say to me, I can't do it. I try, but I'm so tight I can't go past here. Great. That means you really need to do it. Keep going. Okay? So another way to do it is you could sit on the floor and put both your legs out, go to one side, go to the middle, go to the other side. You can do it by putting your leg in like this. That's called a hurdler stretch, and you can even lean back so you get the front of here too. That's the last stretch we're going to do, the quadricep stretch, but this is another way to do that one. Next one, hip rotator stretch. This one's great too. So with this one, if there's only 2 that you're going to do, I'm going to say these first 2. The hip rotator stretch is another one. With people with unrelenting low back pain, a lot of times I'll say, okay, do you ever get that pain that's like here, right? This is the stretch you want to do for that. You can do it lying down on your back, which looks like this. You cross the one leg over the other, grab behind the other knee, and pull it to your chest. That's one way to do it, but if you want to do it in a simpler way, you don't want to get down like that, you want to do it during the day, sitting up, cross one leg over the other, and bend forward. Now again, you'll know if you have really tight hips if you try to go like this and your leg is like this and you can't get it to go down. So many people have that issue. So the first part of this for them is just pushing that leg down. That's it. That's a stretch in itself. Once you're at the point where you can do this, then you bend forward. I had a lady just this morning. I've been adjusting her for probably 2 or 3 years now. And she's just at the point where she can do this stretch and not be in horrible pain. I mean, she's probably in her, I'm going to say 60s, and she really wanted to give up on this stretch for such a long time. And she said, the only time I can do it comfortably is right after I get adjusted, but then it tightens up again. I said, don't give up on it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Just today, after years, she said to me, I can do it. You know, and what are the options? What if she didn't do it? She'd be tight. She'd have a lot more degeneration, a lot more arthritis. This fights the arthritis. This is what protects you against it and can even reverse some of it. So this is what you want to do, okay? So again, you're going to hold for 10 seconds, 3 times on each side. You may find that one side is a lot easier to do than the other, one side is a lot tighter than the other. But getting these hips open is really important. Another great thing you can do to start opening your hips is just sitting on the floor. If you can get into this position and just rock back and forth in this position, that lubricates the hip joints. It like puts fluid in them to make them go a little bit smoother. Okay, so just rock back and forth, do it 10 times, as far as you can. Some people may not be able to go all the way. Go as far as you can, okay? Next is knee to chest. Knee to chest is fantastic, again, if you just injured your lower back and you're just like, you can't even move. This is a good starting point. So you're lying on your back, your knees are bent, you always grab behind the knee, not in front of the knee, okay? You don't want to put pressure on that knee joint. So always grab behind, and with your head relaxed back, not like I'm sitting up, bring your knee up to your chest. Hold it for 10 seconds, do the other side. The only thing that this doesn't say that I want you to do is once you've done that, you can go both legs. So you could do both legs at the same time as well, okay? And again, if you just injured your back, that's a great thing to do. But even before that, what's so important to do if you just injured your back? I can't believe people forget this all the time. They come to me and they just hurt themselves and they're like, or they say, I hurt myself yesterday. I'm like, okay, what's the first thing you did? I'm like, I didn't do anything. Well, what do you mean you didn't do anything? What's the first thing you do when you injure yourself? Ice. Ice. Please don't forget that. When you injure yourself, when you're in pain, there's inflammation. Ice is the best thing you can possibly do for that. I had a guy that came in yesterday and the day before, but he came in Monday. The guy couldn't stand. He couldn't move. He's a gym teacher. Couldn't move. And he's like, he's walking like this. I'm like, did you ice? And he says, no, I've been this way for 4 days. I'm like, you didn't ice? He's like, no. I said, when you go home, please ice. And he got off the table. He felt a little bit of relief. He goes home. He ices. He comes in the next day like this. I'm like, really? I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, I iced. It's like a miracle. It's natural. It's easy. Everybody can get it. Please ice. Okay? So ice, and then when you injure yourself, everybody thinks, okay, stay off your feet, don't move. You only want to do that for a day or so, and then you want to get motion. And this knee to chest is the first thing that you want to do when you start to get that motion back. Okay? And the last one is the quadricep stretch. So again, I showed you how to do it when you're lying down. You can lean back. It's hard. You're going to feel it. But you can also do it standing up. And a lot of people say, I don't really feel it when I'm standing up. That's when you go to the lying down one. It's more intense. But always start off by doing it this way. If you can't grab your leg, grab the back of your pants. If you can't grab the back of your pants, take a belt, loop it around your leg, and just start off by holding that. Because a lot of people can't do that. Okay? This is one of the motions that we definitely lose as we age. But again, this is a hugely important muscle. You don't want to stretch hamstrings without stretching quadriceps. They're opposing muscles, so you always want to stretch both. Even if only one side hurts, you're always stretching both sides. Good? Okay. So again, 10 seconds, 3 times each side, and then switch. Always do your stretches 1 to 2 times per day. What is the best time of day to do your stretching?
Before going to bed.
Before going to bed. Anybody else? In the morning. Anybody else?
While you're doing nothing.
While you're doing nothing. I think that's kind of the best answer. But Don't wait to be doing nothing, because how many people do nothing?
That's the problem.
We have to schedule it in, but any time you're gonna do it and do it consistently is gonna be the best time. The most important thing is to do it. Stretching, again, if you do 1 or 2 from each side of these, it doesn't take long. It's not hard. Anybody can do it, but it will add years to your life and to the life of your spine. It'll help support the adjustments. You will get healing a lot quicker and it'll last a lot longer. Okay? So can somebody tell me one stretch that they're gonna try?
Let's see. Tension release.
Tension release. I love that one. That's, I mean, again, that's one of the most important, easiest, basic ones. And if you have any trouble with it, next time you come in, show me how you're doing it.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm gonna do the knee to chest.
Okay, definitely make sure you're grabbing behind your knee, that you're flat, you're relaxed, and that your head is relaxed back. Okay, and do both at the same time. It doesn't say that on the sheet, but do both legs at the same time as well. And I also want you to do this one. Okay. Anybody else?
I'm gonna do the chest also.
Excellent, good. All right, so, thank you all for coming to this workshop. Again, in 2 weeks, we're gonna do the strengthening part. It's always best to start with stretching. Don't go on to strengthening until you've got the stretching in place and until you're a little further along in care. We always wanna get motion into your spine first, and then we want to support it by strengthening it. Stretching you can do pretty much immediately. Strengthening is going to come a little bit later. So I'm glad you're all here tonight. You all got points for our giveaway. Again, the reason that we do the giveaway, for those of you who don't know, is because we want to spread the word about chiropractic. It's a natural way of caring for yourself. It avoids a lot of health problems. It gives you energy, you sleep better, your immune system works better. So we want to spread the word. So we have contests so that you bring people as guests to workshops, or you have them get checked. They don't have to become a patient, but allow everybody the opportunity to get checked. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have a wonderful night.